final boarding. Paging passengers Daniel Benavides, Karen Cartwright, Hope
We're
Phillips,
here on December
and
23rd,
Samuel Duncan.
2021,
Please report
a
immediately to
Thursday,
B24 for on-time departure
at
to
the
your
Salt Lake
Albuquerque
City
flight
Airport.
3999.
We're starting off in the B gates, and what I wanted to show today was the walk that it takes to get from the B gates to the A gates. And then you can kind of think of it vice versa if you were coming from the A gates to the B gates, because if you're entering the airport, you start off in the A gates, and a lot of people have flights that go all the way to the B gates, and there's this long tunnel that was constructed, I want to say probably a little over a year ago, but there's been some complaints about how long it takes to walk the tunnel. And when you're coming to Salt Lake, a lot of people arrive at the B gates and then have to take the tunnel because that's the only way to exit the airport. And now in the future, the airport has said they will come up with better ways to streamline the walk. And they're still doing more construction, so it's not a final step, but just want to show how it goes. Like right now it's 9:40 a.m. Mountain Time. So let's see how long it takes for me to walk from one end to the other. Now granted, one thing to be aware of is that I'm a healthy 32-year-old with no injuries or anything like that. So I walk a pretty fast pace. Obviously, if you have an injury or if you're older and you know your legs and knees are bad, it's not the best to have to walk the whole way. Although they do occasionally, I've seen them, they'll take electric vehicles and the downtown airport workers will transport you down this little hallway that I'm walking on right now. They also have the conveyor belts on the right side. I like the murals that are on the tunnel. They're on the left if you're coming from the B gates to the A gates, or on your right if you're coming from the A gates. Like this one up here, I believe, has the various animals depicted. Here's an example of one of those vehicles that transports people. Now I think ideally what people would like is for there to be an actual train that transports you from the A gates to the B gates, like zips you right down, because I've seen that in other airports, but I don't know if they have plans for that or not.
Flight 2460 to Dallas Fort Worth. All passengers en route, please board at this time. And a B is in Bravo 4. All passengers en route, please board at this time.
And then the way they have it set up is when you're coming down from the A gates, they have two escalators coming down and then one escalator leaving. If you're coming from the B gates, one escalator down, two escalators going up from the A gate. So more escalators dedicated to traffic arriving from the A gates going toward the B gates. So let's look at my watch again. 9:44, so it took 4 minutes for me to walk that. Now, is that bad? Like, from the airports I've been in, it doesn't seem too bad. But again, I have read a lot of complaints online. I haven't personally found an issue with it. but I still wanted to demonstrate it in case people haven't been here before and wanted to see what type of walk they would be in for. So now we're at the A gates, which look identical to the B gates. We've got the Christmas vibe going on. Now, one of the things that maybe I can see being a hassle is that not only are you walking that tunnel, now you do have to walk all the way
Salt Lake City Airport
to the place where you exit the airport to get to ground transportation or baggage claims. So that'll tack on probably another 4 minutes.
This is the final and immediate boarding call for Delta Flight 1595 to Denver at gate A17. All ticketed and confirmed passengers, please make your way to gate A17 for first boarders. Ready for on-time departure. Final and immediate boarding.
See various restaurants open here. At first, a couple months ago when I was here, they didn't have many chain restaurants, but I have seen like Cafe Del Rio, and I think there was one more that may have opened. But you're right, at least for now, you're not going to see Burger King, Wendy's, Subway, Chick-fil-A. Whether they introduce those in the future, we'll see. I think there is a Panera Bread up there, and there is one Smash Burger back where I came from in the B gates. Trying to train myself to keep the gimbal or Pocket 2 device straighter. I see in some of my videos when I start walking, I end up curving the handle slightly to the left. Hopefully I'm doing a better job of that. Okay, so let's say that we got to the top of that escalator about 9:45 a.m. We're approaching the atrium that leads to the exit of the A gates, and we're going to hit that at about 9:48 a.m. So that will have been about a 3-minute walk to get to that point. I guess my question to people who think it's too long would be, doesn't it take long in other airports too, kind of? Well, let's take a look at the big Christmas tree. Can't pass that up. All right. But yeah, so this would be the exit. You would go through those gates, and then that would head you to the ground transportation area. So let us know in the comment section if you've been to the Salt Lake Airport, what you think of the travel distance going from A gates to B gates or vice versa.